All right, guys, welcome to another very special episode of the Left Side View with Rahul and Amitabh. So, this is the review episode of the football matches that have taken place till yesterday. So, we had some exciting matches. Where do we begin, Amitabh?
So, Rahul, as usual, we begin with the Premier League. The lunchtime tip-off was the Toffees against the Red Devils. Again, we know that Everton are really struggling this season, and their place is in danger right now in the Premier League itself. And Manchester United have their own troubles that they just can't seem to shake off. This was a very important match yesterday, and um, it was difficult to call a winner here, but the home advantage, I guess, helped Everton out. They won the match 1-0. Um, if you talk about Everton, a very important victory for them, especially after their loss against Burnley, a direct rival. Basically, one of them will be going down this season in all likelihood. As far as Manchester United is concerned, this just looks so much like a disjointed team that don't want to play for each other. Um, there's no cohesion, there's no understanding between the players. I mean, we've already said this time and time again, and nothing seems to be, improving. It is pretty clear that nobody is listening to the coach, Radnick, and yeah, there's already so much rumors about the next coach and more importantly the next set of players that United will target. I think the primary concern will be to ship out a lot of the deadwood right now. Um, they are on the face of it, at least they were in the on the face of it in the reckoning for top four. But I think um, even after two losses, Arsenal and especially in the kind of form Tottenham are in right now, I think it will be one of them. United are out of that race as well. Rahul?
I mean, yeah, I agree. Like, obviously, when you talk about the top four now, I don't think that anyone's talking about Manchester United. There are a couple of things that we have to talk about. Obviously, one is the new coach. It does look like it's going to be Eric Ten Hag. Um, Having said that, I mean, I don't really think that's a job, that can be uh, taken care of in one window or two windows. I think it will take Ten Hag at least three or four windows, because not only he would like to bring in his own players, but at the same time, he would like to actually get rid of the players that he doesn't really want in his squad. We already know someone like Paul Pogba, his contract is expiring, he's going to leave. I mean, even the interview that, David De Gea had, he was like, yeah, and he's done that, I think, three or four times already. Being a goalkeeper, I don't know, like, he's not the I mean, if he really is such a senior player, why is he not the captain? I don't know. There are so many things when I've seen like people being so blunt at times. Uh, I personally don't like it. I mean, along with all of this, we have to, I think, talk about the whole incident involving Ronaldo. I think he broke a fan's phone, so it looked like it looks like that. There's going to be uh, an investigation. I don't know. Like there are different people are taking different sides. Some are with Ronaldo, some are with that person. Uh, I mean, I understand that Ronaldo was like he got angry and everything, but then now it's again, it's just trying to avoid a PR disaster, I guess. That he is now inviting that fan to a United game and all those things. At the same time, yes, what the fan did was also not right. But I mean, it's just it all sums up United season in a way. Along with that, yes, I think we've got to talk about Everton as well. I think credit to Everton. I think uh, they do have this home form. Could that actually keep them up? Maybe, I'm not sure, but yes, they are like horrible away from home, but then at the same time, they do take points playing at the Goodison Park in front of their home crowd. So let's see if Lampard can keep them up. Uh, that's all I want to say, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, just a quick couple of points here. As far as De Gea is concerned, I think he's the only person, the only player that has played up and above his potential, and he's done everything that he could have and much more for the team. And it was high time that someone came out and blasted the team from one of the players, because obviously the media and the fans, they have taken turns to take pot shots at the team, but somehow it felt like the players are not really, they don't care basically. So somebody had to come out. It was high time, and express his disappointment. Certainly, as far as the Ronaldo incident is concerned, yeah, I think when you're a celebrity, you have to take the higher moral ground. Yes, what the supporters, the audience did was not fair, but then he should have controlled his temper. That is at least what I think. And yeah, a very, very crucial win for Everton. I think we can move on from here. Um, the next match that we had was Arsenal against Brighton. Um, Again, this current loss of form of the runners, it just came out of the blue. They were, flying high, and it almost looked, top four was a guarantee for them. But I don't know what happened. Maybe the inexperience of the team is showing now. Maybe the inexperience of the coach is also showing now. It's all they always say that when you are, without any pressure, you tend to perform much better. But now that you are closer to the target, that is when the nerves take over, and maybe it is a learning curve for the team and the coach. Brighton, again, they have also turned the corner. They have won their last two matches, so good on them. They won this match 2-1 away from home. Rahul?
I mean, again, I think this was more like the Ben White derby in a way. I guess that was also another reason why the Brighton team was so charged up for this match. Uh, at the same time, yes, the loss of form came at the right time, and again, I don't really give a shit about Arsenal, but yeah, uh, I don't want them to finish in the four. I've said this before as well. I mean, it just goes to show, like how much Arteta was whining and complaining about the fixture congestion, and that too being in just one competition. Uh, I think we kind of appreciated as well Arsenal, when they were performing well. Uh, Even Arteta's decision to get rid of someone like Aubameyang. But now I think he does deserve actually a bit of criticism. What he did with Aubameyang was actually a good thing. He got rid of someone who was clearly not good at the team's morale. But at the same time, the problem lies in the fact that he didn't replace him, and I think they are kind of struggling with that because they don't really have any striker right now. I mean, there's Lacazette, and then I think their second choice striker is who, Nketiah, I guess. Even Balogun has gone, and they didn't sign anyone to replace uh, Lacazette. I mean, Aubameyang. I mean, obviously they wanted Vlahovic, who's obviously never going to join Arsenal. But so that's the thing. Like they should have signed someone else. I mean, otherwise they usually play. I think Martinelli as a false nine. So I think they do miss a striker at this point in time, and even a little bit of experience. I would say. I mean, they are a young side at the same time. Like all these players, Saka and Emil Smith Rowe. Uh, Even I think Partey has been injured. He got off injured in their loss against Crystal Palace, so they're missing someone like him as well, who had actually picked up a little bit of form. So yeah, uh, I think yeah, this London derby. I mean, it does look like that it would actually come down to the London derby against Tottenham, but now it seems like because of these two losses in the form that Tottenham are showing, it doesn't really matter. I think Tottenham are the favorites now. I mean, they've both played I think 30 matches, or maybe Tottenham have played a match more. I'm not really sure, but yeah,
Yeah, Tottenham has played 31.
Tottenham has played 31. Yeah, so but they're still ahead, I think. So I don't really think if Arsenal continue to play the way that they're playing, I think it's in Tottenham's hands now.
Yeah, yeah, so true. Yeah, maybe they'll learn from this and be stronger this season. Next match, Southampton against Chelsea. With the kind of lead that we've had, can't really be too happy about the result. We won 6-0. Um, but definitely a welcome change of pace. I think this sort of performance was required and expected by the team. In the press conference prior to the match, Tuchel did say that he had an honest conversation with everyone, not with the purpose of pointing fingers, but he did say that it was actually some of it was also his mistakes. So he took the blame like a great leader. And yeah, it was, yes, we were very, very determined to win this match, but we also have to say that Southampton looked out of sorts. Again, a team that was doing so well until very recently. And somehow, I think as soon as they were sure that relegation is not a threat for them. I think the entire squad has just switched off, and I mean the fact that we scored 6 goals. Werner alone, had 2 shots on the post and one on the bar, and on top of it, Foster had at least 3-4 magnificent saves. So this would have been anything. So yeah, troubles for Southampton. These are the kind of results that frankly can get a coach sacked. So they have to be wary about it. And as far as Chelsea is concerned, I think the most important thing here was 3 points, which we did get. We all know that the bigger challenge is on Tuesday, basically, against Madrid away. So yeah, happy for Chelsea and a little scared for Southampton, quite frankly. No?
I mean, yeah, I'm happy, with the score line. I'm happy with the result, but at the same time, I don't want to read too much into it. I guess it's more about anger in a way because of the 2 losses, because it would only mean something if we actually build on this. Uh, let's see if we can actually do that. I mean, even Werner, he has scored 3 Premier League goals this season. I was actually very surprised when I heard that he has only scored 1 goal before this match. I was like, seriously, like just 1 goal, and that goal was against Southampton way back, I guess. So, and then he scored 2 more against in this game. Again, similarly, people are like, Werner is back. I don't want to read too much into it either. I mean, even now, 3 goals, almost the season is almost about to end. So, yeah. I mean, I'm happy for him, but at the same time, I've said this before. I like him as a player, but at the same time, I don't really think that his game suits the Premier League. Uh, so yeah, I mean, Lukaku's injured. I think even Aspilicueta test is positive for COVID. So let's see who's available for the Real Madrid game. I guess this was all about building confidence before that match. So yeah, don't want to read too much into it.
Yes, exactly, exactly. This is so much about getting out of shaking off that form that we were in. Um, Mendy also had a fantastic save. So after his howler in midweek, everybody played their part well, and yeah, cannot be too happy with it. But again, a good sign before the key clash against Madrid. Um, the next match was Watford against Leeds. One of those matches that could have been um, tricky for Leeds had they lost it. They were away from home, but they actually won 3-0. So yeah, I think Leeds have widened the gap between Everton and the 3 teams in the relegation and themselves. So good for them. Watford, I think they're done and dusted. So anything you'd like to say here, Raul?
I mean, yeah, in a way, uh, I guess Hodgson is a great manager, in terms of getting teams out of relegation. But this time, I think his appointment has just come a little too late. I guess. I mean, the damage was already done by Ranieri and the coach. I think Disco Muniz before that. So yeah, even if he wants to, I don't really think he's got enough time or enough games uh, to make a difference. Yeah, I think Watford are done and dusted. Having said that, the same thing applies to Leeds as well. It's a good decision in a way, sacking Marcelo Bielsa. I think because this personnel that Leeds have, I think that's not really something that you would say is championship worthy. These players actually in a way belong in the Premier League. In a way, it sounds strange to say, but it was actually Bielsa's tactics that were letting the team down. So now that we are actually getting someone like uh, Jesse Marsh, and they're just playing, like the way they're supposed to. They are getting results here and there, which is what you would expect. They're not, following like doing something irrational or crazy, like man marking and all those stuff that they used to do under Bielsa.
Yeah. The last match of the day was Aston Villa against Tottenham Hotspurs. So on the face of it, Spurs won 4-0. Son with a hat trick and Kulusevski with the fourth goal. But the match was quite close, especially in the first half. Loris had a great day in goal and he made 2 or 3 spectacular saves. Um, but yeah, the firepower, the three of Tottenham, they just propelled Tottenham to victory in this match. And again, prior to this match, they were on equal points with equal games against Arsenal. So it was an important away match for them. And Yeah, Tottenham are on a great winning spree right now. I think it's 3 or 4 matches they have won on the bounce. 4 matches they won on the bounce. So good for them. Again, Villa did not deserve. I mean, the score line does exaggerate a bit in terms of how Tottenham played. But yeah, the key moments, especially one assist by Harry Kane when he just quickly looked that Son was, on his way to on the goal and he flicked a header in his path. So the quality, the difference in quality definitely showed. And again, there are a lot of rumors that Gerard wants to buy a lot of talent, and there will be some sort of an overhaul in Villa's squad this summer. So, yeah, waiting for that to happen. As far as Tottenham are concerned, I think the Conte magic is slowly but surely taking shape now. Let's see how it goes. Another 8 matches for Arsenal and 7 for Tottenham. We'll see who gets that fourth position. Rahul?
So to be honest, for me, it's like it was a great opportunity for Tottenham. Simple as that. Like they, by the time they played, they had already seen uh, Arsenal lose. They had already seen Manchester United lose. So obviously, Conte would have used that. That this they're not going to get a better opportunity than this. So that also, I think, would have played a part. The fact that those two closest to them, lost, so they knew that this is an even better opportunity for them, to go all out and beat Aston Villa and get 3 points. And at the same time, again, what a sign! I mean, I personally feel like it's actually a very good timing for us, that we don't have to play Tottenham this season. We've already played our matches against them. But the fact that someone like Arsenal do have to play them, I think even Liverpool have to go to Liverpool also have to face Tottenham at Anfield. Uh, I mean, this is in a way as well what Conte likes, right? Uh, out of all the competitions, just playing in the league, one match a week. That's when he actually shows his magic as well. So yeah, it's the perfect storm in a way, for Tottenham to finish in the top four.
Yeah, so with that, we cover the Premier League. We can move on to the Bundesliga now. On Friday, we had Stuttgart against Dortmund. Dortmund came away 2-0 victors with Julian Brandt scoring both the goals. Your views on the match now?
Yeah, I think Dortmund got a 3-0 victory, right? If I'm not wrong.
2-0.
2-0, yeah. I mean, again, they were again motivated in a way. Uh, just a sad thing to see, even someone like Giovanni Reina, I think he has been he has missed so many matches. I think almost the entire season. I don't really think that he's had a decent run of matches this season. Uh, every time he tries to come on, he gets injured, and even I think in this match he started, but then in the first minute he got another hamstring injury. So I hope that he gets well. I mean, I remember just 2 or 3 seasons ago when he actually broke onto the scene and he looked so good and he looked like the next Christian Pulisic for Dortmund. So yeah, it hasn't really worked out that way, but yes, uh, Dortmund again trying to keep up. I mean, we have to take into account that they were playing for the first time after they lost the week before to Leipzig. I mean, they lost 4-1 to Leipzig at home. But yeah, so this is a match wherein, I mean, again, it's like they needed to win this match. Obviously, I'm not going to deny that they needed to win this match, but then they also needed to win the match before. So yeah, there's no point in beating Stuttgart when you're going to lose at home to Leipzig.
Yeah. Now that has been a problem. Consistency has been a problem for Dortmund. Let's see if that is an issue big enough for them to address in the summer, or they'll continue with their merry ways of buying cheap and selling them at a profit. Yesterday, Bayern Munich faced off against Augsburg at home, and again it was a struggle. Something has happened to Bayern, even if they have churned out victories, difficult victories of late, but they have not been at their free flowing best. Maybe they had an eye on the return leg against Villarreal in midweek that they're down 1-0 from the first leg. So, but yeah, it took an 82nd minute penalty for Lewandowski for to help Bayern clinch this one. Should have been more easy, but it is what it is. Rahul?
I think yeah, in a way, it's at this point in time, when you start to see, teams getting tired as well because even Bayern Munich have played so many games. They had a midweek trip too. Spain. So yeah, whereas someone like Augsburg, they're only playing one game a week. Um, so don't want to read again too much into it. At the end of the day, they got the job done. They got 3 points. You've got someone like Lewandowski. All he needs is one chance, right? So they got a penalty. He scored from that, and yeah, I think, like you said, at the same time they'll have one eye on the match against Villarreal in the middle of the week. So that's all I want to say.
Okay, so moving on to the French League. Clermont faced PSG yesterday, so there was a hat trick for Neymar and a hat trick for Mbappe, and there was a hat trick of assists for a certain Lionel Messi. PSG won the match 6-1. Um, yeah, maybe the domestic title is as good as done and dusted, but yeah, okay. So something that I would like to call out. So PSG are offering 150 million, I think, pounds to Mbappe for prolonging his contract for another 2 years, signing on bonus 150 million on top of the net 21 million that he gets as salary. Okay, and what he has done is, I think he's taken this offer and gone to renegotiate with Madrid. So good times to be Kylian Mbappe. Rahul, your views on the match and this piece of news?
So yeah, even I've like obviously like they did there seemed a time when Mbappe to Real Madrid was a done deal. Like everyone, it was the worst kept secret, I guess. But now it actually looks like with the the riches, with the money that PSG have, they could actually offer him enough and keep him. I don't know. I mean, we all know how much money they're already paying to someone like Donnarumma, the money that they're paying to someone like Lionel Messi. So they, I mean, if there's any club that can offer this kind of money, then obviously it's PSG. About the match again, they're top of the league. Clermont are 17th. Even PSG are out of all the other competitions. They've only got this league to play for, which is in a way already wrapped up. So yeah, maybe they don't really have the pressure now, which they would have, when they would play someone like Real Madrid, in the Champions League. So yeah, I think without the pressure, even these three players, Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe, are clicking. But that's the thing, like they could have won. I don't really think that Messi signed to just win French League One, right? I mean, they were winning.
I hope not.
Yeah, but at the same time, I can't really say that they were winning it without him because they were not. Last season, they could not win it. So maybe, yeah, it is in a way improvement, right? Without Messi, they could not even win the league, but at least with Messi, they'll win the league. So
What baffles me is how does someone like a PSG or other clubs that are bad by nations, um, flew Manchester City, how are they abiding by the FPP rules with the kind of money that they're throwing around?
I think there's a new regulation. I think maybe it's become active or not. So the new regulation is that you can spend as much as you want to, as long as I think you can afford it. I guess it's 70% of your something like that. Maybe
70% of your revenue.
yeah. I think it's something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, even then, see, a majority of the sponsors are from the parent club. You know how they do. I mean, how they conduct these businesses. They create a company which is a subsidiary of the parent company, and the another subsidiary actually has the ownership of the club. So yes, even there's a news about Manchester City being investigated in one of the German newspapers. So I just hope that everybody is abiding by the same rules um, for the fairness of the competition. Good luck to PSG. I think they have a lot of cash to burn, and they're doing a fantastic job of burning that cash. Um, 150 million as signing bonus just doesn't make sense to me. But maybe they have one eye on the World Cup in Qatar, and they want all these stars to be in PSG at the time of the World Cup. So yeah, I think we can move on from here. We've talked a lot about French Liga. So Syria, Rahul, your favorite, breeding ground. Inter Milan against Hellas Verona. Again, on the back of some indifferent form of late, one of the must-win games for Inter, and they actually, performed here. Barella and Zeko scoring 2 goals in the first half itself. From there on, it was smooth sailing for Inter. So, your views on the match, Rahul?
I mean, yeah, someone like, I think Jacko, we talked about him, the fact that someone who's 36, I guess now, maybe he had a lull, maybe he had a drop off in his form. But I guess now that the business end of the season has arrived, he has finally, in a way, woken up, I guess, even now, uh, because Inter Milan are also out of all the other competitions in a way. So they are also focusing on this. And yeah, all the players are fit. I think even someone like De Vrij was back. I mean, I guess he again got off injured. Uh, but playing against Verona at home, I guess yes, you don't really think that they would drop points. Uh, I think they're finally getting back to their form. So yes, a good result for Inter, and again a match that they had to win. The fact that again we got to take into account the timing. Like they've played before Napoli had Napoli had played or before AC Milan had played. So yes, they knew that they had to win this match to keep any pressure on the likes of Milan and Napoli. So yeah, they did their job. I guess that's what I would say.
Yeah, in the second match, it was Cagliari who are actually just one place above the relegation zone against Juventus, and it was actually Cagliari that took the lead through Dos Santos, the 10th minute. But Delit and Vlahovic responded from the old lady, and the Juventus come out as 2-1 victors, an important victory for them. I think the top four is sealed as far as Serie A is concerned. Um, all we are waiting for is the order of these four teams by the end of the season. Rahul?
Well, yes, in a way, I don't even think that it's about the top four. I think more about the top three, wherein you would expect to see a change. I think even with fourth, we all know it's going to be Juventus. I don't really think that you would expect, or I would expect Juventus to maybe finish second or third. I mean, obviously there are teams behind Juventus like Lazio or Napoli, sorry, Lazio, Roma that are still trying to chase Juventus. Uh, Other than that, I think yes, João Pedro opened the scoring for Cagliari. It was 1-0, but then at the same time, then even Juventus now not playing in either competition. There was actually talk of Vlahovic not scoring goals. I guess he has been in a drought in a way by his standards. So yeah, I think it actually could have been 3-1. Even someone like Juventus' left back Luca Pellegrini, who was actually on loan at Cagliari, he actually even scored a wonderful goal, and he did not even celebrate. But then obviously there was no need because then it was later ruled out, by VAR. But again, I think even the goal that Pedro scored, I think I've seen this before, but I want to maybe point it out. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that he's not a good defender, Dillit, but there are times when I've seen him that uh, he does struggle for some reason. I don't really think that he's as good as people make him out to be. In fact, I think that if he actually goes to a league like the Premier League, he's actually going to struggle a lot. We all know, in a way, that Serie A is a slower league. So I have already seen him struggle uh, in Serie A. So imagine if he's struggling in Serie A. What if he actually goes to the Premier League? So I again just pointing it out. At the same time, again, like I mentioned that there was this talk of Vlahovic not scoring. All of a sudden, he scores this winner for Juventus. So again, Juventus needed to keep up with the other teams because they knew that even they cannot drop points because they know that this is chasing pack of Lazio and Roma who are actually getting back to form of their own. So yes, they needed to win this match and they did. And again, I mean, Cagliari again, a team that has been struggling. They did pick up form. After the January window, but again, they've now. I guess it was just a mini. It was just a phase, I guess. So yeah, they've gone back to their old ways, and even now they're struggling. I think you're on mute, Amitabh.
So sorry. We can move on to La Liga now. On Friday, we had Sevilla against Granada, and again with the kind of draws that Sevilla has been mustering up left, right, and center. Um, not really optimistic about this match. It was actually Granada that took the lead, but that kind of spurred Sevilla on, and somehow finally they thought of why not, let's attack in a football match for once, and they also got the results. So they won the match 4-2 at home. Um, I think this was an important match for them because top four has to be a priority, and with the kind of form that Barcelona and Atletico have shown of late, it was important. It will be one of Betis or Sevilla in the top four, and they've just dropped so many points, especially after January, which draws. So, a welcome 3 points for them. Now,
I mean, this was actually a very important victory for Sevilla for the simple reason that we'll talk about later because of the result, that Atletico had. And again, when you take a look, they've actually played 2 games less than Barcelona. So yes, if Barcelona win their matches in hand, then they'll obviously go above. So in a way, they could actually, from this position that they've actually held on to, for almost the entire season, which is the second place, they could actually finish fourth. So they don't want to do that. Uh, I mean, this was actually a very tense game. It was actually 2-2 till very late, and Sevilla actually scored 2 late goals. So yeah, someone like Rafa Mir, who actually had a goal disallowed, but then I guess he was so hell bent on scoring that he actually finally got his goal. So yeah, a good performance from Rafa Mir and a good showcase actually from Sevilla. Usually, like uh, I guess a month ago, this probably would have ended in a 2-2 draw, but this match didn't. So yeah, a good performance. I think maybe, yeah, I guess let's see if they can build from this.
yeah. So talking about Atletico, I see they've been playing well of late, and this away match at Mallorca, which they actually lost 1-0. I think they had an eye on the midweek fixture against City, and maybe they took the foot off the gas this match. The fact is, even after they lost and Betis won, they are still 1 point ahead of Betis. So maybe they thought that maybe I'm not sure that even if this weekend does not go their way, they can still cover this up. But that should not have been the case. But unfortunately, that is how it was. So 1-0 loss to Mallorca, who are 17th in the table. So should have at least been 1 point, at least 1 point, which they could not muster. Rahul?
I mean, yeah, I realized, after watching the match, who the manager was for Mallorca. It's actually Javier Aguirre, the Mexican coach, who actually used to coach at Atletico as well. So it was actually his second game in charge for Mallorca and his first home game. So he's been given the job of, taking them out of the relegation zone. So yeah, I think he relished the opportunity. First home game against one of his former clubs. Yeah, I think just a 1-0 victory, whereas, it was a great time to play Atletico, who already had an eye on the match against Man City. So yeah, good job for a job done for Mallorca and Javier Aguirre. Yeah.
Yeah, the next couple of matches that we can discuss about is Cadiz against Betis. That Betis won 2-1. So there are slim chances for them to be in the top four by the end of the season, but they have to, keep performing like this, keep garnering the points, and hope for the best. As far as Villarreal and Athletic Bilbao are concerned, that match was a 1-1 draw. Again, I think the priority for Villarreal will be the midweek fixture against Munich. So they've already messed up La Liga because if you remember, they were right there or thereabouts, but from there their form dropped, and they can't really think of top four now, or and they are not really going down. So it will either be one of those UEFA Cup spots or nothing. So they are in the quarterfinal, and I think they'll prioritize, and they should prioritize that right now. Rahul?
I mean, yeah, when you talk about it, right? So uh, Villarreal actually made 11 changes. They rotated everyone from the match against Bayern Munich. So that's in a way, credit to La Liga as well, right? Like I don't really think any team in England can rotate 11 players. I mean, Liverpool cannot rotate 11 players, before the match against Benfica, even if they were not playing Man City. Chelsea cannot rotate 11 players against Southampton. So that's in a way talks about the quality of the league as well, that Villarreal can afford to rotate everyone. I mean, in a way, yes, they still got away with a draw. So what do I say about it? But other than that, for Real Betis, I think Cadiz again struggling. They're in the relegation zone. Uh, I don't really think that there should be any surprise. I think the surprise would have been, that if Cadiz had actually managed to, grab a point or even beat Real Betis like they did Villarreal, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
Finally, we have Madrid against Getafe. I think in the reverse fixture, Getafe won the match 1-0. So yeah, again with the kind of form that Madrid were in midweek, unfortunately against us, um, they had to get this, one also over the line, because they don't want any last hour mishaps as far as the domestic season is concerned. So the sooner they get enough points, to confirm their victory, the better it is for them. Pretty regulation 2-0 win for them. Casemiro and Vasquez scoring a goal each in each of the halves. Rahul?
Yeah, again, it was just about getting the job done, taking all 3 points, moving on. Even Ancelotti made 4 or 5 changes, from the match against Chelsea. Even they have an eye against, obviously, second at the Bernabeu against Chelsea, because they know that if there's any team that can actually do something, it's Chelsea. I mean, at least Chelsea belongs in in that category of teams that can actually come up with a miracle. So yeah, Ancelotti knows this. Again, they got away with a win. Not, I mean, in a way, the title is all sewn up already. I don't really think that they're going to lose it from now. Like, if they do, obviously, it's going to be a big surprise, big shock to everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, title. I don't think that is worry right now, but it's just one of those things. Before they start the semifinals of the Champions League, they want a healthy enough lead so that they can also rotate 11 players like Villarreal. Um, with that, we come to the end of the review episode of all the matches on Saturday. Thank you so much, guys, for your time. We'll be back with our review of the Sunday matches tomorrow. Thank you so much and take care. Bye.
All right, guys.